Hey, what's up? This is Ben from WODprep, and in this video, I am going to try to tackle the should you go scaled in the open or should you go RX in the CrossFit Open in order to have the best CrossFit Open experience. I'm gonna try to tackle that today. This is gonna be a tough video, but if you follow me along for the journey, I promise you it's gonna be worth the watch. And if you are a CrossFit Masters athlete specifically, and you want specific strategy guides, video analysis, and to join a group of like-minded CrossFit Masters just like yourself, stick around to the end of this video because I have a really cool thing to share for you that WODprep is releasing now. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about, should you scale or should you go RX? Let's talk about the actual nitty-gritty leaderboard stats. So this is a little boring, but it's something that you need to know. One rep, so let's say there's a barbell, okay? One rep at RX weight will beat an infinite amount of reps at scaled weight. So let's say there's a deadlift, and the deadlift is really heavy, or it might not even be heavy, but if I do, let's say this is scaled weight, and I do 1,000,000 reps, and then one person comes in and just does one rep, RX. Technically, that one RX rep, no matter how easy it was, even if the scaled athlete is way more fit than the RX athlete, one rep at RX will always beat a scaled score. So that's just something that I want you to keep in mind. When you're trying to argue with your friends about going scaled or going RX, you do need to know that when it comes to the leaderboard, one rep at RX will always beat a scaled. Now, that is the technical side of should you go scaled or should you go RX. Some would argue if you can do one rep RX, then you should go RX. I'm not gonna say that because I don't think that's true at all. And if you follow me around for the rest of this video, I'm gonna dig into a couple scenarios and I'm gonna argue why you should go RX, and then I'm also gonna argue why you shouldn't go RX. You don't have to commit to the scaled division. You don't have to commit to the RX division. What's really cool about the Open is that you can change based on the workout. So maybe 20.1 is released and you're like, I can RX that, and you hit it RX. But maybe 20.2 is outside of your range. Don't feel bad about it. Hit it scaled, have a great time, and move on to 20.3. You can go RX scaled. You can have any combination that you want. That's totally fine. We just want to let you know that one rep technically will beat all scaled divisions. So one RX rep will beat all scaled reps in each and every workout. So technically someone could get 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 in every single workout and beat the best scaled athlete in the entire world, which would probably definitely beat me at everything. But I challenge you and I promise you that you're going to be better off if you actually let each workout dictate your path. So if the workout is way beyond your limitations, it's way beyond your capabilities, then by all means do scaled and you should never feel bad about that. But if the workout is in your wheelhouse, if you're feeling good about it, if you want to challenge yourself, then hit it RX. Even if it's the only time you go RX in the entire CrossFit Open, that's totally fine. Treat each workout as its own entity. So let's spend the next few minutes, I'm gonna argue why you should go RX. So if you find yourself in these various scenarios, if you're the athlete nodding your head on the other end of the screen for the next few minutes while I'm talking about this, then maybe, just maybe, you should skew to the side of RXing more workouts during the CrossFit Open. Obviously it does matter specifically which workouts are programmed and which movements are programmed, but there's a few movements that I'm gonna talk about here that are really, really common reasons for people not to go RX, and I'm gonna argue that you should go RX. The first movement that a lot of people will completely avoid at all cost when they're programmed in the CrossFit Open, and they will be programmed, is the double under. So very often I'll see athletes who traditionally in a normal CrossFit gym, they always skew to, oh, I just do single unders. I'm a single under person. I don't mess with double unders. And frankly, it's because they want to stay inside their comfort zone. I believe in the CrossFit Open magic, and I've seen it happen hundreds of times. If you're someone who's never really attempted double unders in a workout, but you're a normally fit person that can jump up and down, I'm challenging you to try to RX the double under workout when it's programmed in the CrossFit Games or in the CrossFit Open. So if you're someone that's like, oh, there's double unders on the whiteboard, okay, I'm just gonna do single unders, and you come here and you're just tangled up in your rope and you just do single unders all day long. If you can get yourself outside of that comfort zone and actually watch some of my videos, watch all the great tutorials that we have online about getting your first double unders and then ultimately hitting them unbroken, if you can break through that and ultimately get to the point where you can finally get a double under and keep the rope spinning, then my goodness, do it. I've seen so many people literally, like they're the open magic when it hits and you get your first double under, or you get some of the other movements we're about to talk about in a second. When you get those first reps, that first aha moment, it opens so many doors for you in your CrossFit career. Even if you're not going to get a crazy score, just getting on that rope and allowing yourself to trip. Don't be embarrassed by tripping in front of the people who are watching. It doesn't matter. You're challenging yourself to take it to the next level. So I challenge you, if you're someone who has not tried doing double unders in a workout, or you're someone who's always trying to scale because you're just afraid of double unders, or if you've just frankly tried to avoid them due to embarrassment, then I'm challenging you, you should RX the workout that has double unders in it. Assuming you can do all the other movements, let's try RXing double unders. Another movement that I commonly see that a lot of people avoid happens on the bar. So toes to bar. Really common movement. It's probably going to show up again this year. A lot of people, they can do toes to bars and they can accumulate them, but they'll always default to the, whatever it is in the scaled division, which is the hanging knee raise. It's really easy to do, it's really simple to do, and it's totally fine. If that's something you're comfortable with and that's what you want to do in the workout, then by all means scale the workout and do those hanging knee raises. Totally fine. But if you're someone who's like, I can do toes to bar, I just don't want to, or I can do toes to bar, it just takes me a lot of time to do them. Maybe you're someone who can do a toes to bar like this, and then you swing, and then you do another one, and you swing, and then you do another one. We have a lot of videos about how to fix that death swing, but even if that's you, I'm challenging you in the CrossFit Open to take a chance and RX the toes to bar workout. If you can accumulate toes to bar, let's say maybe 1 or 2 every 10 seconds, then by all means hit the toes to bar workout, try it RX. Again, assuming you can do the other movements in the workout, this is a great chance for you to make that open magic real and break through into the RX division by finally stringing together toes to bar. And remember, here at WODprep, we can help you with that and we can guide you every step of the way. Now, let's talk about the real heavy hitters when it comes to the CrossFit Open. That is the muscle up. If you can do 6 strict pull-ups, 5 or 6 kipping toes to bar, and let's say 6 kipping chest to bar. If you can hit those 3 benchmarks, then you can do this, okay? And that is the bar muscle up. The bottom line is that if you can do the benchmarks I just talked about, you can hit strict pull-ups, you can do kipping toes to bar, you can even maybe do some kipping chest to bar, then I want you to try bar muscle ups in the open. If you have these benchmarks, let's say for ring muscle ups, I don't have a set of rings right here, but for ring muscle ups, if you can hit 4+ strict pull-ups unbroken, if you can hit multiple deep ring dips, strict, unbroken, then by all means, with the right coaching, using our coaching cues that we have here on the internet, on YouTube, on Facebook, you can do your first ring muscle up in the open, because the open magic, again, it's real. It's a real thing. So if you're someone who's right on the edge, you have the benchmarks, you know you're capable of doing the double unders, you know you're capable of doing the toes to bar, you know that you're capable of knocking out bar muscle ups, then I'm challenging you to step it up, try the RX division, and you might be amazed at what happens. Last but not least, let me argue for a second about why you should not do RX'd. So I'm going to use a few examples here, but if you're someone who's on the bubble, you're like, man, I really want to go RX, I really think I can do it, that's fine, and I really hope that you do. But here are a few case studies and reasons why you shouldn't do the RX division in any given workout. Let's join me over here at the barbell, where I'm going to give you a quick demo. So if you're someone, let's say there's a deadlift programmed. We already used deadlift as an example, but let's say there's a deadlift programmed. Ideally, we want a deadlift to look something like this. Back set, core is tight, I stand up, and I put the bar back down, okay? It might not be perfect, but that's a deadlift, and if you can make it look like that, then more power to you. But too often in the CrossFit Open, I see people who are like, no, dude, I go RX. I'm an RX athlete. I don't care how much that weight is, it's all about effort. That is wrong. It is physics and it's strength. So if you're someone who maybe gets to the second barbell in a workout and you're going like this, you know, like the Dave Castro, hopefully we can overlay a Dave Castro video of him doing his 1RM deadlift. I love you, Dave, but that's a really good video. If you're someone who physically can't move the weight, if you're risking drastic injury, like if you are literally the cringe of your gym trying to lift this weight or trying to do some of these more complex movements, then go scaled. Swallow that ego. Don't worry about trying to beat him or her or that guy or this guy. Just focus on yourself. If you know you're not set to move the weight and move it in a safe manner, then please go scaled. Even if you use a weight that's in between the scaled division and the RX division, who really cares? You might not be able to submit the score for that, but honestly, it doesn't matter. At that point, the Open is about testing your fitness and seeing how far you've come from the past, setting new benchmarks, setting new baselines. So you need to make each workout applicable to yourself, and you definitely should not outdo your capabilities and try to lift a heavy weight that you just frankly can't move. Another example of this, and I see this all the time unfortunately, is over here on the bar. So if you're someone who, you're like, I'm an RX athlete, I can do it, I know I can, and you're over here attempting bar muscle ups, maybe it looks something like this. You know, ow, that hurt, just attempting that. There's a classic reason why you can't do some of these advanced movements, and this could be the reason why. And that's because you can't do this if you don't have strict pull-ups, especially if you have 0 strict pull-ups. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you don't have any strict pull-ups, you shouldn't be attempting things like bar muscle-ups. You shouldn't be attempting things like ring muscle-ups. Frankly, I don't think you should be attempting things like chest-to-bar pull-ups. All of those things should be reserved for athletes who reach those minimum standards. And this isn't like a good versus bad thing, it's just a progression. You shouldn't be attempting these super advanced movements until you've built a foundation. So until you have the foundational strength to do a couple strict pull-ups, you should probably avoid things like kipping chest-to-bar pull-ups, bar muscle-ups, ring muscle-ups. Those are all the pulling movements that I would say shouldn't be done without an adequate baseline of strict pull-up strength. And again, we have some of the best videos, I think, on the internet about how to develop strict pull-up strength. So if you haven't done a search for that, go to YouTube, search WODprep strict pull-up, and you're gonna get a lot of really great info about that. Let's talk about another movement set. Man, this one, I really wanna caution you. The deadlift was ugly and it can hurt your lower back. Really, with the pull-up stuff, the shoulders are at risk for injury and you could technically get hurt, but it's nothing compared to what I'm about to show you. What I'm about to show you is arguably one of the things that I saw people attempt way too much of in the RX division when they should have scaled down, and that is handstand walks and handstand push-ups. I've seen people attempt handstand walks and they've never tried them and they're like, I'm an RX athlete, I can do it. You know, I made it to the handstand walks. And they look something like this. You know, just direct dive bomb on their neck. Or they'll kick up and they'll immediately backflip over, right? It's almost like they've never even tried the movement. Please, don't go into a workout trying to RX it, especially when your neck is involved, and go outside of your capabilities. This applies also to handstand push-ups. I'm not even gonna demo it because I wanna protect my neck, but if you can't do strict handstand push-ups, you shouldn't be doing high volume kipping handstand push-ups in most of your workouts. I know that's a little controversial, but honestly, the neck is so important and it's so weak that we shouldn't be risking it. So things like handstand push-ups, things like handstand walks shouldn't be risked. You shouldn't allow yourself to be influenced by others or the allure of RX if it puts you at risk for injury, especially when it comes to your neck. So the moral of the story here is you should not go into the RX division. You should not RX a particular open workout if it stretches you too far beyond your capabilities and potentially opens you up to injury. That's the right mindset. If you notice, whether I'm talking about why you should RX or why you shouldn't RX, you'll notice I didn't talk about what are other people doing. Remember, the Open is about you. It should be you versus you. Sure, there's a leaderboard. Sure, there's a lot of people in your gym you're trying to beat probably. Just like myself, I admit, like I'm trying to beat other people. But really, the essence of the CrossFit Open is to challenge yourself in each and every workout, both mentally and physically. And then also, it's to set a benchmark. It's to set a standard to see how our fitness is improving, staying the same, or even getting worse. And ideally, what we want to do is during the Open, we set benchmarks that we can eventually test later in the year or the year after, and so on and so forth. It's been incredible to watch my own journey as an athlete as I've improved my fitness throughout the years from back in the day, and I challenge you to do the same. Treat every workout as its own entity. Make a conscious decision within yourself whether you should scale or RX, and if worse comes to worse, just ask a coach. If you are a master's athlete that's looking for a coach that can help you exactly strategize your workouts, figure out whether or not you should go scaled or RX, or if you're looking for someone to give you direct video feedback on things like snatches and double unders and bar muscle ups, if you need that extra coaching and you are a master's athlete, then I'm inviting you to join WODprep Plus. It is an amazing program that we are currently in the process of releasing, and if you join before Friday night of 20.1, we are going to give you special lifetime discounts so that you can join this community only for master's athlete, get all of that coaching, and you'll be paying a super low monthly rate. So if you want to learn more about WODprep Plus and why it's super awesome and why the WODprep team is opening this up to master's athletes, go in the comments below. I've pinned a comment up top with a link, or you can go in the description and click the link there and learn more about WODprep Plus. Last but not least, if you haven't yet, smash that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, and also that notification bell. It's really important that you press that so you don't miss any more content during the CrossFit Open, and I will see you in the next video.